Hi, I'm Tina, an architect here at Formed Architects. We are going to talk today a little bit about what comes first, builder or architect. And this comes from the idea that a lot of our customers come through builders because the builder's gone round or been asked to get a quote, and essentially the builder's gone around and there are no drawings. And so the builder would say, okay, actually you need to speak to an architect because we need some drawings to price from. Probably in a nutshell, the answer to the question is what comes first, builder or architect? It's architect, because ultimately, if you want a builder to price something, he needs to price against something. Your idea or you talking about something doesn't necessarily give you something definitive for the builder to price against. And if you're getting multiple quotes, which you should be doing in a building project, it doesn't allow the builders, all the different builders, to give you an accurate quote based on something that you can measure against, bar you saying, well, I want a 3 meter by 5 meter extension at the back and I want to change my kitchen and I want the fridge here and this here. That's not definitive enough, because beyond the sort of internal layouts and the kind of sizing of the extension, you'll want to work out how many electrical points you have, how much insulation is going to be inside the walls if you're having an extension, what performance are you working towards, and all of these things can vary quite significantly. So you can get what we call mineral fiber insulation, which is a soft insulation, which is slightly cheaper than a higher performing sort of PIR insulation, which is a rigid insulation, and the costs vary quite significantly. But it also changes the thickness of your walls. So all of those things will have an impact on the space, particularly if you're working in small spaces, which is why a good builder typically, when they go around and get asked to do a quote, thinking that they'll get some drawings when they do that, and don't have any real drawings to work with or very sketchy drawings, they will actually refrain from providing a quote because they will want more information. So they've got all the prerequisites that they need in order to provide you an accurate quote. Why is that important? Because that is likely to garner you success during the build in terms of your costs not going up in relation to, oh, well, I didn't factor that in. I didn't think about that because it wasn't on any drawings, or I didn't realize there was going to be a drain under that manhole there. And all of those other funny excuses that builders come up with to increase his prices. So we would always say, I'd always advocate that you should get a detailed set of drawings done at the outset with the architect. The architect will work with you to establish exactly what you want, and that is defining a brief. And then that architect may well, or some of them don't, but may well work with you to essentially go out to tender and get prices from builders that you can compare against. So you've got a clear set of documents that outline what you want, where you want it, and a builder prices against that. Then your benchmark as a starting point is absolutely equal, or it should be. What we often then find with the tender prices, and just a last little point here, is that some builders will just forget some of the information on the drawings or not factor it in. And that's when you start to scrutinize what they've included in their price, because there's very little point if you're doing a loft conversion for the builder not to have included the scaffold, and in particular a tin scaffold if you are sort of working through the rainy season, because if they haven't, that's going to be an extra sort of £5,000. So you just want to get that balance right and making sure that you've got a clear starting point of definitive documents that your builder is pricing against. Those documents are normally produced by the architect. So what comes first, builder or architect? Typically we would say architect.